one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Trustee Mitchell? Trustee Middleton?
Here.
Trustee Njenga?
Here.
Trustee Gale?
Here.
Trustee White?
Present.
Trustee Saunders?
Present.
VP Kelly?
Here.
And President Kerwin.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Superintendent?
Good evening. I would like to start with our scholars. I am proud to acknowledge that the Ice Cold Drum Corps from the Mount Vernon Leadership Academy took first place at the Battle in the Apple, which was held in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, you got it. I also want to acknowledge that the X Factor Drum Corps took second place. And just so you know, the X Factor is a team that is based also here in Mount Vernon. So kudos goes to both groups for a job well done.
It's okay.
There is no legal requirement to recognize public comment at meetings of the Board of Education. However, the board recognizes the critical importance of community discourse and involvement in the education of Mount Vernon's children, and accordingly, members of the public are invited to speak at each regularly scheduled board meeting, subject to the terms of the board policy. Please state your name, address, and the organization, if any, you represent. A speaker must register in advance by no later than 4 p.m. the day of the meeting by contacting the district clerk in person at 165 North Columbus Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York, by phone at 914-665-5235, or by email. The board welcomes all respectful comments, whether praise or criticism. However, identifying and criticizing a specific student, parent, teacher, administrator, other Mount Vernon education official, or employee is strictly prohibited. Any such complaint must be presented and addressed through the proper administrative channels. Each speaker is allowed 3 minutes to speak. Up to 1 additional minute may be used for the speaker to summarize and conclude their remarks. If appropriate, board trustees and/or the superintendent or other staff members at the direction of the superintendent may immediately respond to a speaker's remarks. Our first speaker tonight is Don Emerson.
Good evening, board members, community members, amazing staff. I am one of the originators or founders of Autism Acceptance Day. I am part of that committee, and I was sent here to say thank you and show our gratitude. For those of you that attended our event, it was amazing, and you're going to hear a lot of that word in the next 3 minutes. Amazing, terrific, wonderful. I am not only a teacher in the Mount Vernon School District, I am the father of a child with an ASD. He is now 28, and I brought him to the event, and at the end of the event, my man looked at me and he said it was terrific. That was enough for me, so instead of going off script, I will do what I was sent to do, so I apologize. The second annual Autism Day event was a huge success where families in the communities came to Trapphagen and enjoyed a free, fun-filled day together. First, we would like to thank Principal Quinones for letting us host the event at Trapphagen. Thank you to Acting Superintendent Dr. K. Veronica Smith, all the principals, the Special Education Department, and parent liaisons for your support for the event. Thank you to Mr. Derek Thompson and the city of Mount Vernon for supplying the buses to make the event accessible to all of Mount Vernon's families. By the way, Mr. Thompson drove around for the first hour of the event, making sure that no kid was left behind. So if you see him, just say hello. And to Dr. Waterman Edward Williams, who gave us the time needed to accomplish many of our tasks. Thank you to LaToya and to the SEPTIC council members for their unconditional support in making this event possible. A special thank you goes out to Nadine Alcalde, who wrote the grant to MVFT, our union, who contributed, which paid for the whole Autism Accepting Community event. They did it wonderful, and if you, like I said, if you were there, MVFT, you came through big time. Thank you to Teresa Scott, a retired special education supervisor at Mount Vernon, who donated water bottles for all the students who attended the event. And not most importantly, but importantly, to our colleagues throughout the district who bought T-shirts and donated their time and money to make this day happen. Thank you all. We could not have made this event without such supportive staff members and parents. And finally, and this comes from me, I've had the privilege of working in Mount Vernon for over 25 years. And whenever I plan something, Mount Vernon doesn't make excuses. Mount Vernon says to me, what do you need? How can I help? And I got you. And from my heart, to all of you who attended, supported us, thank you. And I hope to do it bigger and better next year. Thank you so much.
Laura Dupree.
Sorry, I'm short. Okay. Good evening, and thank you for giving me your time and consideration. My name is Laura Dupree. I'm a teacher at Mount Vernon High School, and I'm speaking as a member of the MBFT. As you know, the teachers at Mount Vernon City School District have been without a contract for 2 years now. In those 2 years, the world in which we live has undergone many changes. Many of those changes have been financial. Items that are necessary to one's daily life, such as food, fuel, housing, clothing, etc., have increased exponentially. But as the prices of these basic necessities rise and the salaries do not, professional people like ourselves begin to face hardships that they shouldn't have to. Our neighboring districts had similar contracts over the last several years, and they have been able to recently negotiate contracts that reflect a fair balance between work expected and salaries paid. There's so much that goes on in a school building that district administrators and board members are unaware of. For instance, I know of several teachers who have alarms set on their phones to go off in the morning so that they can call specific students to make sure they wake up and go to their first period class on time. I know of another teacher who saw a student without a coat on a very cold January morning and went to Target that very day to buy him one. Teachers do these things because students are a priority. And we care for them. I know of other teachers who, throughout the years, have given their time for free to Zoom with students on Saturdays or in the evenings for last-minute Regents prep, even though they could have been with their own families. Most of us regularly purchase our own school supplies, and often that includes supplies for our students. Binders, loose leaf, notebooks, folders, copy paper, and the like. I've been with this district for 16 years, and I can attest that most teachers stick around. It's only been recently that our teachers are leaving for better paying jobs in nearby districts, and it's because they couldn't afford to not take that opportunity. What we are asking is that we get a fair contract. We offer our time, we use our own money, and although some of us may exit the building at 2:50, our day is far from done. We entertain phone calls from students and parents alike. We respond to emails. And we do these things long after our contractual day has commenced. I even know of a teacher who last August, after a student's graduation from Mount Vernon High School, rented a van and solicited donations from colleagues, neighbors, and friends so that a van could be filled with everything a student would need for college, and then drove the student 2 hours north to ensure that she got there and was completely prepared for what lay ahead. Only a couple of weeks ago, several of us donated funds or outright bought a prom or senior trip ticket for students who had to choose between one or the other. These are just some of the things we do because everything we do is for our students. We are not selfish. We are not greedy. A successful teacher can be neither of those things. And let me remind you, we are very successful teachers. I am very proud to say that I work at Mount Vernon High School because I know that I, along with my colleagues, do our very best every day to ensure our students' success because theirs reflects on ours. We ask that you engage in negotiations with our union with open minds, with the knowledge that there is much more to us than 43-minute class periods, and with the readiness to appropriately compensate us. Thank you, and have a good evening.
Danielle Gustini. I apologize if I pronounce your last name wrong.
Pick it up a little bit. Oops. Sorry. How do you put this in? Can you do that for me? Thank you. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. Hi, good evening. My name is Danielle Juice-Tea. That's orange juice, iced tea, juice tea. And I'm a teacher at Mount Vernon High School and a member of the Mount Vernon Federation of Teachers Union. I've been teaching at Mount Vernon for 22 years. I started my career in New York City Public and was making $29,000 in 2000 while going to school at night for my master's degree. It was not a livable wage at the time. In January of 2002, I left New York City Public and came to Mount Vernon. It was a $15,000 pay raise. Smaller class sizes, school materials to teach with were provided, and a parking lot. I was absolutely elated. I chose to stay in Mount Vernon and make this my career because our salary was competitive with all other districts in Westchester County. We are no longer competitive. After reviewing the current teacher contracts from several neighboring districts, the data shows a veteran educator with 22 years teaching and a master's degree plus 60 credits earns $15,812 more in White Plains than Mount Vernon, $23,250 more in New Rochelle than Mount Vernon, $28,780 more in Yonkers than Mount Vernon. New York City Public, the school district I originally left to join Mount Vernon, is now a whopping $35,307 more than Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon educators are now earning significantly less than surrounding school districts. It appears that every other district has taken the economy and inflation into account, and Mount Vernon has not. This does not include all the hours of unpaid labor that we do because we want the best for our students. My colleague will speak to this point after me. Bottom line, we go above and beyond our rules for our students, very often with no recognition. The Consumer Price Index from June 2022 to April 2024 went from 291.36 to 312.23. That's a 7.16% inflation increase over 22 months. The amount of time we have been without a contract. What we have learned from the Zoom days is that high-quality teachers in the classroom are essential. There is no program that can replace a teacher. I ask you, do you want to hire the best and the brightest teachers? Do you want the best and the brightest to stay in Mount Vernon? Why would a young and vibrant teacher want to stay and build their career in Mount Vernon, knowing how underpaid we are compared to all our neighboring districts? Any high-quality educator will do their homework, comparing wages, and will not choose this district to settle down in. The saddest part about this is the ones who suffer the most are who? The kids in Mount Vernon. In conclusion, the Mount Vernon teachers deserve a competitive salary, and the contract needs to be settled now. Thank you.
Andrea Sewell? Sewell? Sewell?
Can I move this down a little bit? Okay. I don't want it to break. Okay. Good evening. Okay, sorry. That's the guy. You're the guy. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Andrea Sewell. I am a reading specialist at Mount Vernon High School for the past 19 years. I am also a member of the Mount Vernon Federation of Teachers Union. You just heard what Ms. Giusti said, about our district not being competitive with our wages. Now I want to tell you what makes us stand out from our neighboring districts. We have the Knights Boutique at the high school that was started by a teacher and her students 3 years ago. Students can come and get clothes, toiletries, and school supplies that they need free of charge during their lunch period. The teacher continually stocks the boutique with donations, organizes the boutique, and works with student volunteers. All this, and during her lunch period, prep periods, and after school. The teacher also assists students in need throughout the school day when they need school supplies and emergencies arise. In addition, teachers, teaching assistants, and security guards all donate to the boutique on a regular basis. The district-wide Say Yes to the Dress Tux event was organized and run by a Mount Vernon High School teacher and former Mount Vernon High School graduate. This event provided prom and graduation attire as well as on-site alterations, all for free. Mount Vernon Federation of Teachers does a food drive for our community as well as a holiday gift drive for students. In addition, we raise money for Making Strides for breast cancer. Students often come for extra help during our teacher lunch periods, and they are accommodated. We write recommendations for students to get part-time jobs or internships, and we are their references. We often buy sweatshirts and T-shirts to support our school's sports teams. We support all student clubs and activities, which include buying items from bake sales and popcorn fundraisers. We are angel donors to assist in funding tickets for the senior prom and the senior trip, two significant milestones. As chaperones for the prom, we pay for our tickets to support our students. We spend out of our pockets to acquire additional classroom materials and items that students need. We are mentors. Bilingual teachers and staff are often used to translate for incoming Ls, parent phone calls, parent meetings,
and translating student exam answers in all subject areas for grading purposes. Since it is Teacher Appreciation Week, and many of us do not feel respected or appreciated, please show us your gratitude by giving us a fair contract reflecting the economic hardships that many MVFT members are facing. Thank you.
Cynthia Crenshaw.
Good afternoon, Cynthia Crenshaw. After listening to the teachers, I am really wants to know about the administrative. You know, I've always talked about how we are paying $500,000 for one position. Talking about this one position, from the beginning, we was paying $166 per day to one of our superintendents, and then it increased by $400 to make that position compatible. But yet our B&B, when I say B&B, that's our bread and butter. I'm talking about our teachers. They were not compensated. After 15 months, the district lawyer decided they couldn't handle the superintendent's position. What did they do? They hired a trustee family member at a rate of $500 per day. First, it was $75,000, but it was negotiated and went to $100,000. But yet our B&B, they can't negotiate. Okay? Okay? If in this budget, and this is a yes or no question, in this budget, is there an increase of $20,000 for the admin staff? I seriously hope that's a no. Okay? And you are laying off people. Take, for example, the hearing officer is being released. To do this job, it requires, I was told, an SDA. So we would like to make sure whoever the hearing officer is, that he have that certificate, if that is a requirement. And my other question is, why now? In order to get an absentee ballot, it must be mailed to seniors. Last year, it was not. We could pick it up, and you could take it to the seniors to help them vote. So why is that being changed? Or is it changed because it is a lifeline to this board? Y'all talk about trust, transparency. You have to go a long way to get that, to restore that. Let's take care of our B&B, our bread and butter, because they take care of our children. That's why we have our superintendent came through the school system, our mayor came through the school system, our detectives came through Mount Vernon school system. Hell, I came through the system, okay? So let's take care of our teachers. Let's stop this excess spending. And why do we have 3 lawyers? Why is one of them close to one of your board members? And why are we paying him $500 an hour? And it was negotiated from $75,000 to $100,000. But our teachers cannot have any type of negotiation. And I would like to know, is the admin staff really getting a $20,000 pay increase when our B&B is not getting anything? Thank you.
Sylvia Tyree.
Good evening, Sylvia Tyree. I'm here again tonight for my question that I asked you last time. And the superintendent said that she would respond to questions from the public. So I'm waiting to hear if you do that tonight. But I'm really concerned about 2 things that I've heard here tonight. One is a gentleman here. What is your name? I see your face for many
Thomas
years.
Keller.
Mr. Keller, when he said he recommended to y'all to close down Williams. I truly hope you don't do that. Instead of closing it, I need you to fix it up, paint it up, put a playground there. Because the kids on that side of town, how they going to get to the other side? Because the first thing y'all going to say, and I've heard it before, we're going to bus them. And then when it comes time to bus them, and when it comes time for the budget like you're doing now, the buses will be the first thing to go, and then the parents got to make their best way to get their kids across town, or north side, south side, or wherever you're going to send them. Please do not do that. The second question is, I hope, since y'all don't want us to see this budget for some reason, that on that budget is not that this administrative staff is getting an increase, and you won't give our teachers one. Now, I've been coming, and every time I come, I see these teachers standing in this blue, asking for the same thing that they deserve. Now, tonight, since you're going to answer our questions, so you said, I want to know why y'all have not considered in 2 years to give them a raise. Y'all know the situation in this city. Y'all know a lot of stuff that y'all haven't done for the teachers. Y'all know that the teachers have bought a lot of stuff out of their pockets. I have a niece that works for this district, and a lot of stuff she gets for her kids, you know how she get them? She call up her classmates and her friends to help her buy the supplies that the school need. So please, I'm going to sit here tonight and wait for y'all to answer these questions. Do you remember my 2 questions from last week? One was, why are your board members resigning and nobody knows why? And the first question was for you to answer the questions for us. So thank you, and I'm going to sit over here and wait for these answers, Superintendent Smith.
John Farver.
Good evening, John Farver, 780 Gramerton Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York. As of this date, I understand we've got a successful conclusion to the Christopher Columbus thing, so I won't go into that. But it's a pleasure knowing I can work with the trustees of this here board on an ROTC program, because it disturbs me when kids entering college can't even answer questions as to where our politics, our government took root. We are less than 300 years old, and yet our Constitution is in demise, our Bill of Rights, our freedom of speech, our freedom of religion, even our freedom of education, and the news media. It's about time we put a halt to this here and let our students coming out of this school be educated as to the life they grew up in. It was peace, it was tranquility, it was an ability to capitalize on your future according to your efforts. Today, it is becoming more of a social program. I will not see this country go to dictatorship. So therefore, I have confidence in you people that we will be able to work together on getting one program after the other benefiting our children. This is not a win-lose situation. It is a community event. We all work together as the men and women in the past did to give us what we've enjoyed. Let's do the same for those that are coming up behind us. Those kids need the future that we enjoyed in our past. Thank you very much for your time.
Jeannie Casino.
Good evening. I am Jean Casino. I'm sure everybody knows that. I am the Vice President of the Mount Vernon Federation of Teachers. Today is National Teacher Day and Teacher/Staff Appreciation Week. It's my hope that every teacher and district employee has heard some expression of gratitude for the work they do for our students. It's my hope that every building did something to demonstrate their appreciation of the lengths to which our members go to ensure our students have what they need to learn. It's my hope that today is the day the board and this superintendent decide to finally act in support of the employees who serve our students day in and day out. The Mount Vernon Federation of Teachers contracts have been expired for nearly 2 years. It's my hope that the district demonstrates its appreciation for us with action rather than just words and an email. When the governor proposed a budget with draconian cuts in aid to our district, the MVFT and its statewide affiliate engaged local elected officials, to advocate for our students. We collaborated with the district to gain publicly for the most important cause. And despite our success in fighting back against those cuts, we were offered compensation increases that are both insulting and disrespectful. The fundamental purpose our district serves is to educate our scholars. We are also obligated to keep our students safe. This work is done by the members of the MVFT. If the goal is to continue providing for our students, we must be able to attract and retain highly qualified employees in each of these important roles. Yet, the district has prioritized district-level positions over those who directly provide student services. With the proposed budget, there are district-level staff employees who could be receiving more than a 2% raise. There were at least 4 new district-level positions made last year. The district has invested in jobs at the district level, but has not invested in increasing the salaries of the members of the MVFT, the same people the district should be honoring this week. The time has passed for telling us that we are appreciated. Now it's time to show us. Thank you.
Rebecca Charlotte.
Sorry, I'm short. My name is Rebecca Chalop, and I'm a 5th grade teacher at Trapphagen School. I'm here to represent the MVFT. Mount Vernon is extremely special and important to me. I'm a proud product of Mount Vernon schools, and it was the wonderful teachers here that helped mold me into the person and teacher that I am today. I am a 2nd-generation teacher, as my mother, too, was a teacher and administrator here in Mount Vernon. I have been teaching in Mount Vernon for 29 years. Let that sink in. 29 years. I've been at the same school in the same district. I have seen some of my former students that are now teachers here, and one of them, I'm not going to name her because I'm not allowed, is here because I asked her, and I am so proud of her now being a teacher in the Mount Vernon School District. At the same time, I can't remember a time when we as teachers have been so disrespected. We have not had a contract in almost 2 years. We have been ready to sit down and negotiate countless times, and yet these meetings have been canceled. Mount Vernon has always been a district that has had financial difficulty, yet they used to make it a priority on finding the money to attract and retain excellent teachers. Those days are over. We are now the lowest paying district in Westchester. We used to have teachers leave New York City to come here and teach in Mount Vernon, but now teachers leave here to go to the city. Why? Because they have received a fair and equitable contract. Despite all of the issues in New York City schools, they realized if they cannot attract good teachers, the students would suffer. We started this year with 100 teaching vacancies, and we have been losing teachers every month since. Many of us are in the twilight of our careers. What is going to happen in 5 to 10 years? Why don't we have a contract? All we ask for is a contract that is fair and equitable. Nobody becomes a teacher to become rich, but we deserve to be able to live in the county that we work in. We keep hearing there is no money. You found the money to give administrators a raise and a new contract, but not us. The schools can run without administrators. Try having a whole school day without teachers and TAs. We have not had an increase in the hourly wage in about 8 years. You asked us to do after-school, summer school, and Saturday school, and yet you don't want to pay us. I teach after school, and there are days that I actually lose money because I have to pay for daycare. People tell me to stop teaching it, but I am here for the children. For 2 years, teachers and teaching assistants and security have had mistakes in their paychecks. Clearing it up has taken months, and people have missed out on mortgage payments, car payments, and other payments. That is disrespectful enough, but then you ask us for help, and we're always there for you. Can you imagine if we ignored a parent or a student, but yet we ask for our paychecks to be fixed, and we are ignored? It is time to prioritize us. We are the ones who go into school every day with a smile on our face and create magic in our classrooms. We are the ones who bring snacks for our hungry children. We are the ones who buy supplies for children who can't afford them. We are the ones who buy clothes for the children too embarrassed to come to school because of their clothes. We are the only caring, consistent adult in some of their lives. What will happen when there are no more teachers, TAs, or security guards here to help them because of neighboring districts? We are the ones who deserve a fair and equitable contract. Thank you.
As my colleague was speaking, I saw at least 8 of you get on your phones. I would just like that known, because that is incredible. Disrespect. Thank you.
Tom Keller. Tom Keller.
Thank you. If I get in trouble, come and rescue me. Thomas Keller, 12 Pasadena Place. I'm going to repeat a few things that I said at the budget meeting because not everybody was here. I heard recently that the city and the school district have settled on an interest rate for back taxes, 18 and 19 and 19 and 20, but it didn't say what the rate was. I mean, I'm a proponent of let's get the principal from the city and don't worry about the interest rate, but I'd be curious to find out how much it is. A couple of weeks ago, I mentioned at the budget presentation, I think it was the 25th, about the assessments. I said, Stephanie Vanderpool is the assessor. She should tell you what it is versus last year. If she doesn't tell you, go to Comptroller Morton. If he doesn't tell you or he can't tell you, go to the mayor. The number is there. Find out. A simple thing. We have 2 property owners, property A and property B, and it's $100. They each pay $50. A goes and grieves his taxes, and it gets reduced by 10%. So now he's paying $45. But we're raising the same amount of money. So B is paying $55. That's a simple example of assessments. So I hope somebody has an answer for us. The Williams School again. New Rochelle has 10,000 students. We have about 7,000, give or take. They have 9 buildings. We have 15 buildings. Come on. Close it down. The distress thing. So the Journal News quotes Thomas DiNapoli that 700 school districts, and we're one of 3. I think Amityville was another one. I can't remember the third one, in distress. And we knew it was coming out the prior week. And the Journal News is always a couple of days behind. They don't publish on Saturday, and they usually don't have yesterday's information until the following day, not the next day. So we didn't get ahead of it. You know, didn't the president and the superintendent, the chief financial officer, the legal person here, the in-house legal person, Ingram and Smith, I don't know if Deborah Cannon could comment because they were on a special study, but there's certainly enough people here to get in front of it. And I think the article said Mount Vernon was called and there was no response. The response is that 136 million property taxes, about 5% doesn't get collected. That's a pretty standard thing over the years. That's about six and a half million. That's 24 million in 4 years. And as soon as we present the warrants to the city, then it becomes their responsibility. After 2 years, they're supposed to try to collect. After 4 years, they should pay us, but they say they don't have the money. They just issued a bond, tax anticipation notes, bond anticipation notes for about $16 million to pay back salaries for all the unions except for fire, CSEA, and the other three, Teamsters, CSEA, and police, I guess. Okay. As far as Yonkers is concerned, Yonkers has a population, 220 census of about 211,000. We have 75. Although the mayor will tell you we're 105. But it was 68 in 2010, now it's 75. Yonkers is about 1.4 billion. That's combination school and city. I think school is about 900 million. We're 270. Of their budget, about 50%, I think, is state aid. According to the presentation earlier, we're 42%. Property taxes are 50%. Again, they have Andrea Stewart-Cousins, majority leader. They have Shelley Mayer, senator. Gary Penlow represents a portion of Yonkers. Sayeg represents the other portion. But Gary Penlow is Mount Vernon. He's been there for 30 years, 32 years. He should have a lot of seniority and a lot of influence. He represents all of Mount Vernon, and 75,000, each assembly district is about 130. So he's 75, Yonkers is 55. Mount Vernon is 75. So a majority of his district is Mount Vernon. Jamal Bailey, we should bring Helene's mother back, Ruth Thompson. She did better than Jamal Bailey. And only 16% of her district was Mount Vernon. 84% was the Bronx. Bailey's 75 and 25.
Mr. Keller.
He was a friend of Carl Hastie, the majority leader of the House.
Mr. Keller, could you wrap up your comments, please?
Anyway, proportionally, Yonkers is getting much more than we're getting. But, in that article, one of the articles in the Journal News, they say there's a $100 million deficit. And their fiscal year is the city and school district is the same. It's July to June. Maybe you'll go bankrupt and stop wild spending. They sold tax liens a number of years ago to raise money.
Mr. Keller, your time is up.
Right?
Mr. Keller, your time is up.
All right, one more thing. There was an article in Sunday's Journal News about new guidelines for teaching students how to read. What's going to be the financial impact? Has everybody read this article? Sunday Journal News.
Thank you, Mr. Keller.
Sure.
And thank you, and that ends the public comments. We go on to reports of the superintendent.
Good evening again, everyone. I would like to acknowledge that Dr. Pauline Pierce was honored on Sunday, this past Sunday, May 5th, by the All Islands Association. It was during their 50th annual scholarship luncheon. So congratulations go to Dr. Pierce for her exemplary contribution to the Mount Vernon City School District. We are delighted to inform you that each of our schools has an after-school program, a morning program, and a Saturday program. These programs have been instituted to assist students to improve academically. Parents, if you have not done so already, please inquire about each of the programs within your child's schools. We have 2 upcoming events that I would like everyone to engage in and support. while he's looking for that. So the first one, as you all are aware, we're in fiscal distress, so we will be doing some fundraising. We have an event scheduled for Sunday, June 2nd. This is to support our students. We will have Sheila Johnson. She'll be here really from 1 to 3. She is the co-founder of BET and the first Black millionaire. She has a book that's coming out, and you can see it on the screen. The title of her book, let me see. Could you go back? Walk Through Fire. So this will be June 2nd. There's a VIP section and a general section, and we are beginning to do fundraising. We also expect to do a fundraiser in the fall, and at that time, Kerry Washington will be joining us here at Mount Vernon. So again, that's Sheila Johnson. In addition to, like I said, being a co-founder for the BET, with her, along with her ex-husband, she owns a chain of hotels, a lot in the Caribbean. The second event, and you can go to that one, we plan a town hall meeting. That's next Thursday, May 16th, 2024, from 6:30 to 8 o'clock, and it'll be at the Mount Vernon Honor Academy. And we would like parents, stakeholders to attend this meeting. The PTA Council will be gathering questions that could be asked. Our moderator will be Dr. Pauline Pierce. Basically, it's open. We're closing out the school year, and we wanted to have this town hall. Please plan to attend. Back to the Sheila Johnson thing. It's already on the website. There's a QR code if you would like to purchase tickets. So I indicated earlier that our budget newsletter will be mailed out on beginning May 10th, and voters can vote on the budget on May 21st. At this time, I would like for Dr. Marie Gabaton. She will be presenting on the graduation season.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So, as you know, graduation season is upon us. And I wanted you to remind you, as a school counselor, that our students are doing great things in the Mount Vernon City School District. Next slide, please. So just in case you didn't know, in the last 10 years, Mount Vernon have been making lots and lots of progress. So in front of you is our ELA as well as our math proficiency. I went back as early as 2013. In 2013, 16% of our students were proficient in ELA and 12% in math. But as you notice, we slowly have been making gains because of the program we have instituted. By the time we get to the pandemic, we had more than a 4% gain. While the rest of the country was fearful of the educational loss, the Mount Vernon students in our various grades went up by 4% in ELA and in math. Some might say, well, those are not big numbers. But look where we started in 2013 at 16 and 12%, and we are currently at 42 and 39%. So we have been making gains, slow but steady with changes that we've made. Next slide, please. Now, this is my bread and butter. No, go back, please. Go back, go back. Thank you, go back. Go back. Okay. So if you know me, I always say the bottom line is the graduation requirements. So, well, I don't need the slide because I know these numbers by heart. Mount Vernon, as of 2023, graduation has gone up more than 26%. If you look in 2013, the district itself was at 58%. At our lowest in 2014, 2015, we were at 53%. Currently, for the last 2 years, last year we were at 79% graduation rate. Even with the COVID slide, we remain at 74%. What does that mean? We've made tremendous gain in terms of graduating our student. Now, just in case you didn't know, 84% of our students go to a 4-year school. Most people think that our students only go to 2-year school, but in reality, 84% of our students go to a 4-year post-secondary school. You might say, where do they go? Well, the next slide. So, next slide. These are some of the prestigious schools that our students have been going to. So currently, we have now Thornton, Nellie A. Thornton is 5 years since Nellie A. Thornton closed. We have sent 5 students to MIT. And 3 of those students have gone on a full ride. More than that, those same 3 students are undocumented students that we got in full ride to MIT. We currently have 2 students at Harvard. One that is an undergrad and one that's in a medical school. They went free for undergrad and they're also going free for medical school. We currently have 1 student from STEAM. Last year he was our board student at Cornell. At Thornton we had 3 students on a full ride at Cornell. Currently, we have 2 students at NYU. We have 1 at Brown, and I have a surprise for you guys. Brown loves Mount Vernon because they keep accepting our students. We have 1 at Dartmouth. We have 5 students at University of Connecticut, and UB also loves Mount Vernon. We have 8 students currently there. We have 4 students at Boston College and 3 at Boston University. Our students are in the most prestigious schools, and they make differences. Next slide, please. So this is where the class of 2024 is going. The list was so big, I had to choose. So I chose some of my favorite schools, like Adelphi University, Johnson C. Smith, LaSalle College, Lincoln University, Mount St. Mary's, New York Institute of Technology, NYU, Penn State, Ramapo College, RPI, Seton College, and the list go on. Next slide, please. And the list continue for the class of 2024. Keep in mind, FAFSA started late. The students still have not finished their FAFSA. There's still lots of issues. However, we in the Mount Vernon City School District are getting our students into 4-year colleges. Next slide. So, this year, look where we're going. We have students going to NYU on a full scholarship. Remember I said Brown love us. We have a student who received a full ride at DWSA going to Brown next year. RPI love us. We have 4 students from STEAM going there. Resiglia, I currently have a student there who's graduating as a senior who has a full ride. We are sending her 3 more students from Mount Vernon to keep her company. We have a student who got accepted to Drexel. We go in the most important and prestigious places in the Mount Vernon City School District. This was just a taste of what's happening at graduation season in Mount Vernon. Next slide. So as we embark on graduation, I am asking for 2 things. 1, that you help our scholars complete their FAFSA. The government was late. They just released it. Students now have the opportunities to make correction, sign, and submit. Because of that, many colleges have delayed their commitment day. For example, the SUNY School's commitment day is next week on May 15. Many of the private schools have moved their commitment day to June 1st. As a result, the Mount Vernon City School District will be celebrating Commitment Day on June 7th. We ask that you wear your college t-shirts, your flag shirts, your sorority t-shirt, and come celebrate our student as they commit to the next step in their journey. They have been well prepared in the Mount Vernon City School District. Thank you.
And it's for our teachers. Yes. Teachers, not the admin, the teachers.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Gabaton, for that report. That ends the superintendent's report.
President Kerwin, we're on to committee reports.
Okay, now we're going to committee report. I'll start to my left. Trustee Mitchell. A committee report.
We haven't had our committee meeting just yet. I think it's this week. So we'll be, hopefully we'll have something a little more tangible at the next meeting. But we have some, of course, our 2-week report from Mike Ragusa with, of course, with Mark Ramundi leading the helm and the rest of our staff. We had some work done in Williams and a lot of in-house stuff, which is what the agenda has been this entire school year. And this particular listing covers, cutouts and repair to potholes and driveways, and not just like same old, hey, we're just going to fill it with blacktop and then it just all comes out after the next 2 rains. They're actually cutting a hole. They're cutting it out. They're filling it, and then they're also waterproofing it and sealing it. So this is designed so that it's going to be something for longevity. This is the type of work that we're doing in the district, and it's in-house. Secure concrete overhangs, house jacks, and high school we had cutouts, repaired potholes, installed door alarms over at Steam. And I will say that I was talking with Mike today. I was at the track at the high school just before I got here, and we were talking about the grounds at the track at the high school and just how much in the condition that they're in. They really just need some serious TLC and some serious some muscle. So I'm hoping that we can talk about how we can start getting that done. The season is here now. We're going to be on that track. We're going to be in that field, and it needs to look something like better than what it does now. I was just at White Plains and Mamaroneck in the last 2 weeks, and their fields are immaculate. It made me feel small. So, but again, we're working on it, and we have folks in-house that's doing that work. Mike and I also discussed that there are things that our teams are doing that we normally would have gotten outside people to do, like pipe work, which is normally would be covered in the plumbing, saving money, thousands of dollars buying furnaces from the local distributor and us installing on our own. This is all saving money, and while it doesn't seem like a lot and it seems small, on a grander scale, it all helps. We did some checks at bathrooms and washroom drains for pitch at Ben Turner High School cutout. If any of you noticed the wall over at the exit 9, it's over there by the old Division E. The wall had a big giant crack that went across, and it was really just because the kids just come down the stairs and they slam dunked their hand against it. So over the years, it cracked. And Mike went in there, and his team, of course, Mark at the helm, made sure that the repairs got done, and it wasn't just like a sloppy repair. From what Mike explained, structure was rebuilt, reinforcements were added. We also had some work done at Pennington to separate with the separations between the school rooms to ensure that there's safety for when they have to do lockdowns and things like that. The only thing, I didn't. You want me to do all of it? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Over at Williams, we finished finished classrooms 1 and 2. This is for lockdown, which started last week. High school boys' locker room removed old and installed new ice machine with new piping valves. That's the in-house. Again, this normally would be, I imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, this is stuff that we normally would have done in the past using an outside company or outside source when we did it on our own and saved some money, right? All right. High school checked 69 exhaust fans on a high school roof, repaired 2, We had, before having to call the vendor, and the work is in progress there, we repaired the coils in UV room at the high school. I don't think we've ever done something like that in-house, repairs to the coils. Guys, is that something that we normally would have done? We would have got someone else, like Renew or something, right? So we're doing it in-house. Again, saving money. That's what we're trying to do. Patching and painting in Williams, second floor gym in-house. There's a lot of work needed at Williams. Anything we do going forward is big. But I've been talking about Williams, Ms. Tyree, for some time as well, and I do understand, and I know, and I learned how the serious severity of it from from Trustee White. She was the first person I ever heard talk about the true conditions. So anything we're doing there is always welcome. Pennington repaired water leaks again. That's in-house. Normally we would have had outside doing that, and we built some covers for the platform covers over at Graham. Girls' locker room, Mount Vernon High School. Cut walls and install new dryer vent lines for new dryers. It's great. I want to come over there and see, have we moved everything out of that area that was storage? All of that turf stuff is out. I still haven't got a tour over at the turf room yet. I'm hoping I could do it this week. And I'm going to ask you about my Aramark bills that I still haven't gotten yet. I've been asking. It's been about a month and a half now. Denzel Washington, we went through all the bathrooms and rebuilt flusher meters and hung sinks and repaired as needed. And a lot of times, guys, people realize we're repairing this stuff and our kids are going in, our babies are going in there and tearing them up. That's right. Solid. Let me just keep it real, 300 with you. We're going in, we're spending thousands, and our babies are coming to school the next day and they're doing pull-ups on the vents and they're banging things and smashing things up, punching out tiles and all types of other foolishness. All right, so when you ask the questions, where's the money going, a lot of times the repairs are because they're repetitive. It took long to get fire clearance. I get our C of Os because how many times did we go and repair doors that were broken again and again and again by students, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say. And over at looks like Honor Academy, we hung some lights in the gym that were not secured. Safety, that's great. High school, we cut damaged sheetrock and hung finished plywood. That's the exit 9 that I was talking about earlier. Again, we're covering a lot of things in-house, and that's great. Mike, thanks for this report. I'm only going to finish up on, there was one thing I wanted to mention. If you missed band night over at Denzel Washington, you missed a big one. Ice Cold, X Factor was there, Sticks and Stones, Mr. Gory, Alvin, who also he orchestrates the Ice Cold. They were all in the building. They did incredible work. To see these kids learn different types of music and play instruments was great. You truly did miss out if you did, and hopefully we're going to work to get something again. I talked to Dr. Smith. School Lunch Hero Day, May 3rd. School Lunch Lady, Hero Day. Okay, that is that, and this is part, it's close to me, right? Our food service workers are incredibly crucial. They feed our babies, okay? We appreciated them May 3rd. I'm calling you out. I'm saying thank you myself right now. Thank you very much. I appreciate you myself, as I do appreciate our teachers who deserve what they're asking for.
Playground is on due for repairs, the playground out there, and hopefully, did the materials come in yet? No. So we're going to repair that playground so our children will have some place to play on, because I did have it, it's still secured, not allowed to play on it, right? Thank you. And I want to say thank you to our teachers and for Teachers Appreciation. I've been there, so I know what you're going through. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Kelly?
We had an education committee. It was contentious. We have a new member who is not satisfied with the results that are being produced by the school district. We are working with the school district to get some clarity with Dr. Doggett. Mary Beth has been amazing. We're doing the Greenhouse Initiative. We're still trying to figure out how to get it funded. The money is in next year's budget, but it's not in this year's budget. So we will try to figure out how to get students involved, which they are not involved yet. And as it goes right now, we're in progress, is what I'll say. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Gale? No committee? Trustee Middleton?
I just want to say that we haven't really, I'm on the family community committee. I've not really met with them. But I do want to say kudos to VFW and to the Rebecca Turner Academy for Alicia Barton, her celebration that was given a week ago or so. It was great, and it was well-deserved, and it was good turnout. And I just want to say kudos to those teachers at Rebecca Turner and to Principal Newby and all those who were instrumental in that process. So just want to say kudos.
Thank you. Trustee Jinga?
I don't really have a report. I just want to say that I was at Autism Day. It was an excellent program that day. Also, I wanted to thank the Guado Lombardi group last week. They invited a few people over to discuss Columbus Day, the history of Columbus, and that was on Thursday. And then on Friday, it was spaghetti night, and that was also an important night. We got a chance to sit down and speak to some of the elders, and Mr. Fava and I sat down and hashed out a lot of stuff, and including the ROTC program. And it's hopefully, I will continue to stay on the board, and we just move forward. It was an excellent 2 days. I met Mark Ramundi was there and his wife, and it was an excellent weekend. It was 2 days straight till almost midnight. I had to run out of there. But thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Saunders?
Hi, good evening. Just want to remind everybody the CTE is going to have senior day tomorrow. So they're going to do hair. The cosmetology students are going to do hair and barbering for the senior citizens. So tomorrow during the day. Okay, so please go over there and do that. Today I had the opportunity to be with some amazing special ed teachers from Benjamin Turner. We did a barbecue because the cohort class was not testing, so they took them out of the building and we went across the street to Rush Park. And I want to give a shout out to the teachers that were there that donated their time and their money.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave a little bit too. We don't get paid for this, so let's just keep it real.
That's right.
So I just want to give them congratulations for doing what they did for those students over there at Benjamin Turner. I appreciate that. And that's pretty much all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. So as far as the Budget Committee, I don't have a report other than that. The Assistant Superintendent gave the presentation tonight, and thank you so much. I encourage the community to go out and please vote for the budget. But I know there has been a lot of questions as to why the school district has not raised taxes over this school year. And I just want to say, I know a couple of the trustees also has those same concern. Some said that it's fiscal irresponsible for the school district not to raise taxes. But I just want to tell the community, that as much as I understand, and the trustees that also voiced their opinion, I got a lot of telephone calls, a lot of emails. I want to just say that first, the committee, when we met, we started out, we said, we put it on the table that we should raise taxes. And then we took it back because, as you know, the school district, when we say we, had a lot of concerns with misappropriation of funds. We had concerns with grants. We still can't get grants from the state. It's very challenging to get grants from the state. And we had a lot of various financial issues. So we said, let's build trust in the community. Let's build the community trust back before we go back out and raise taxes. Now, if we raise taxes this year, this will come on the heels of the city that raised its taxes in the community for 8%. We were also thinking about the taxpayers. We don't want to burden the taxpayers. So, we want to rebuild the trust of the community. We ask the community to please go out and vote on the tax levy budget, zero tax levy budget, that we have not passed. We have not increased taxes for over, I would say 8 years. We have new administration. We didn't want to, we have assistant superintendent who is new. We also had a treasurer that's new. So we didn't want to just throw everyone in and have extra money go out to the taxpayers and said, hey, increase taxes without knowing what was in the budget. How is the money spent, right? So to gain trust among the board and the administration and the community, we says this year we're not going to raise taxes. Next year and year after, we all know that we have to raise the school taxes. So we don't want any financial burden that would impact the teachers, nor the bottom line is the students. We didn't want any students to be impacted. Of course, we are not cutting any services to the students. And we look forward to building the partnership, collaboration with the community, with our stakeholders. And I encourage everyone to please go out and vote for the budget on May 21st. Thank you.
I have a question. So with all that you just said, is it true? Okay, because sometimes I hear stuff outside. I don't even get it here. I get it outside. Is it true that there was a salary raise for those that sit here for $20,000?
Not that I know of.
So they didn't get the
If it was proposed, if it was proposed.
Well, I'm asking because
If it was proposed, you are a trustee and. Question. Okay, somebody answered. Can I answer?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Go ahead.
that's okay. If it was proposed as a trustee, you would have to approve it. And I could tell you, neither I nor you approved those raises. So there were no raises. So if it was proposed, we as trustees would have to approve it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I'm asking.
Yeah.
Because there's
No.
this circulation thing.
Right,
so.
but get your information. You're in-house, so you got first-hand
I'm gonna leave
information.
that right there, period. I'm in-house, but I don't always get stuff, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't wanna say that.
Thank you so much. Okay, that conclude our committee reports. I'm sorry, do anyone else, any trustees have any other question? Any other questions? Okay, thank you so much. That conclude our committee reports.
Okay, Dr. Smith, old business?
Good evening again. No. Good evening. I'm doing that right now. Right now. Good evening again. I'm here to discuss old business. There was questions from the community on our last board meeting, which was Tuesday, April 16th. First question, it was a request to consider the time that a particular team can use our track at Mount Vernon High School. The response, the track is available from 6:45 p.m. Monday through Friday. Another question, someone would like to know whether the district would consider starting K-8 students in track and not wait until they are in high school. We do have a modified track which encompasses grades 7 and 8. That's for boys and girls. And basically, those are the youngest grades that we could offer at this time. Question, Why aren't the trustees or the superintendent answering questions the community is asking when they come for public comment? Was that a question? Yes. The community will receive answers to those questions raised by the public that we can answer under old business section at the very next board meeting. Question: trustees leaving and the community should know why. And so the response is the Board of Trustees assume their positions voluntarily. This position is labor intensive and it takes commitment, dedication, extensive time and understanding, and no pay. Trustees resign for many, many reasons, including family commitment, philosophical differences, health concerns, just to name a few. Where are we with the teacher's contract? The settling of any union contract is a negotiation process between legal representation, union representation, administration, and staff members. These negotiations should be conducted in good faith and based on the ability of the district to negotiate fiscally. We want our district to be fiscally responsible. It is in the best interest of the district to settle the contract. The acting superintendent and the board trustees are committed to doing the right thing by all stakeholders in the district. So currently, we're in the negotiation process. We hope that we can come to amicable agreement. Yes, we understand that it's been 2 years. I, more than anyone, would like this to be resolved. So that's the response to the teacher's contract. Question: homeowners would like an update on what is going on with the attorneys and legal department with the investigation. As a follow-up regarding our internal investigation regarding grants and or funding by way of grants, we are proceeding with the procedural, I'm saying that wrong, it's legal term, help me here, prosecutorial, okay, stage of the investigation that will continue to inevitably provide due process to all potentially involved and address the community's concerns. As you are aware, a federal investigation is occurring simultaneously, and therefore we are not at liberty to discuss details of our internal investigation, but we can assure you that our internal investigation is proceeding expeditiously. Next question: displays outside Mount Vernon High School still has incorrect information, needs to be changed. What is the update? There is a plan, of course, to fix it, but for right now, the display is turned off, and it will be turned off until it is repaired. There was a question about light on the track, and can it be fixed? The light on the track is a very expensive venture that is being discussed, and we are hopeful that we will be able to fix that as well. There was a question regarding the lack of access to the track and tennis courts for the community. What are the hours that the community can use the tennis courts and track? That was the last question. During the tennis season, from August to May, the tennis court is available from 5:45 p.m. That's Monday through Friday, and after 2 p.m. on Saturdays. The tennis court is available for the summer starting May 16th to August 18th. First come, first serve. During the track season, from August to May, the track is available after 6:45 p.m. Monday to Friday. The track is available for the summer from July 1st, 2024 to August 18th, 2024. And that concludes the questions that I received. and the questions that I am able to raise. And please note that I have fewer questions for the next meeting because people made statements and did not ask questions. Thank you.
What about the assessment? What about the interest rate on the back taxes in the city of?
So what happens when you ask questions, you get an answer. When you make statements, it's not a question. Please couch your statements into questions to be answered during public session.
Okay, let's move on.
Mr. Keller, I ask you to please respect the meeting. Please respect all of us. We give you courtesy. We ask you to, we allow you to speak. You already had your turn. But yes, you have to respect this meeting. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. You already, committee, your session is over.
That's it for old business. We're going to move on to our resolutions. Can I have a motion for 5.1, Human Resources 103A, certified?
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions?
Question. Mr. Campbell, this is the one that has our, does this have teacher resignations? Is this the one? Yes? No. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, my big screen isn't open. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 5.2, Human Resources Resolution 103B, classified?
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions?
Question. How many teachers are on this tab that are resigning, just straight resigning and leaving the district? I think I counted 6.
This is the classified, but that previously was, I'm looking at it right now, that's 3 TAs and 2 teachers, so it's only 5.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just don't have it in front of me to see on a large enough screen. Thank you. I
Gotcha.
know it was a lot of them. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 6.1, authorization to pay gifted and talented staff for admissions testing, scoring, and selection?
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor? Aye. Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 7.1, authorization to pay staff to provide morning instruction for K-8 students from April 29th to June 15th, 2024?
Motion.
Second. Question.
Questions, concerns, discussions?
This starts April, this is for them to start April 29th through June, end of June, right? I'm just questioning, did we use scoring for marking periods 1 and 2 to determine? Because I'm only looking, it's only, 2 months left out of the school year roughly, to engage them for that progression towards what their goals are. Do we really think that 2 months is enough to get that done? And the first part is, what do we base the decision to just now have this morning instruction?
So 2 months is never, 2 months are never enough to do what we need to do, but based on the time that the state releases the grants, the funding, which was a couple of months back, we know it's time. So basically how students were selected, the parents were polled, each building sent out a poll to the parents. The parents were asked if they would like to partake in this service. And so those are the students that are turning out. And of course, based on those students, based on their IRD performance and other teacher recommendations, they are grouped accordingly for the additional support.
So it was really just because of the timing on us receiving the grant a couple of months back. Is there any way we could have started this any earlier?
There was no funding for it earlier, I would say. We have an after-school program going, and that's where our funding.
So the money was elsewhere. Okay,
Yes.
understood. Thank you.
What age group is this?
It was open, all buildings, all K-8 buildings, open it up to all grades.
What's the participation rate? Can you give us a participation rate? In other words, when we offer, not this particular one that's just starting, but you said the after-school, the power hour and those.
Yes, to have some data here for after school. So far, we have 2,628, we consider them seats, that are allotted in our after-school programs across the district, and we currently have a 56% attendance rate. For a Saturday program so far. We
buildings?
across the district, yes.
When did, before you, Saturday program just started, didn't it?
I think we are in week 4 or week
Okay.
3 of Saturday
All
program.
right, go ahead, sorry to interrupt.
So Saturday program, we have number of seats, 1,203, with a 60% attendance rate.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 7.2 to amend Resolution 7.3, Board approved on April 16, 2024, authorization to hire staff for Saturday school at all K-8 schools from April 6 to June 15, 2024.
Amended.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? So can someone explain what happened? Why are we amending the resolution from, why are we amending the resolution from last month, from the last board meeting? What was the amendment for?
So,
Start date?
yes. So we didn't start on the 16th. We started the week after for students. But the week of the 16th, that's when the administrators made preparation for the program.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Didn't that have an impact on what the teachers, what they agreed to when they signed up to helm Saturday school? Wouldn't that have impacted what they originally agreed to? Because if they agreed to it for starting when we originally resolved, and it was a week later, because I talked about this at the last meeting and asked a specific question, did it start on time? Did that have any impact?
See, when you put out a posting, there is an end date. And what happened in the last meeting was that the principals had gone through and selected the teachers for their Saturday program, and the posting was still open. So we have to follow that policy that and many schools still didn't have their full complement of staff. So we could not have started with students on that day.
Okay, I'm just so, but the teachers who did say that that did sign up to start when we originally resolved, it wasn't impacted them. They lost money, right? Wouldn't they have?
Yeah, yes, they wouldn't have been paid for the 16, but still, we would have been violating our policy if we had done that to pay them for the 16th.
So that would say next year we need to
Yes.
construct it a different way so that we don't have to face this.
Definitely. Again, all of this is contingent on when we got the Title I grant, and that this year was extremely late.
Thank you.
So things were done quickly.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. We have a motion for 7.3 to amend Resolution 7.4 for the Board approved on April 16, 2024, authorization to approve Saturday school at Denzel Washington School of the Arts, Mount Vernon High School, and Mount Vernon STEAM Academy from April 6 to June 15, 2024.
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 7.4, authorization to approve hiring additional extended learning opportunity staff district-wide?
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions?
I have a question. As far as why is it,
Blank.
why do we have an October 23rd date on here?
Because that's when the program started. And if you notice, many of these are just replacement. People who started the program no longer want to do it, so they have to be replaced. So these are replacements. So after-school program started October.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 7.5, authorization to pay staff to provide summer school for pre-K students from July 8th to August 1st, 2024?
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries.
Can I just ask a question? Is that pre-K going to be in one building?
Two.
Two buildings? Okay.
Can I have a motion for 7.6, authorization to pay administrators to prepare summer school programs from July 8th to August 15th,
Motion.
2024?
Motion.
Oops, sorry. Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. I have a motion for 7.7, authorization to pay lunch monitors to provide services during Saturday school for K-8 students from April 13th to June 15th, 2024.
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions?
Question. I thought Saturday school was only for 3 to 8th graders. Third grade through 8th grade, not kindergarten.
It was opened to all students. Apparently, and I've not gotten this from any principals, but looking at the data now, it's reflecting grades 3 through 8
Right.
in the lower school and secondary schools.
Not kindergarten.
So it's for K to 2, there are no Saturday schools. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 8.1, approval of student services, pupil personnel services, memorandum number 7 dated May 7th, 2024?
Motion.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain? Oppose? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 9.1, authorization to accept Educational Data Services, Inc. bids?
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain?
I had a question. I'm sorry, I have a question. Just so I'm following, these bids, they've gone through the channels as they were supposed to, as outlined in the district purchasing and bidding agreement and how it works according to how we have it documented, right?
Yes.
All in favor? Aye. Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. We have a motion for 10.1, approve general funds transfer purchases order increase for 2023-2024 dated May 7th, 2024.
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 10.1, confirmation of the tax warrant for the fiscal year 2024-2025?
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions?
Can we, for the public who are listening in or not very fluent, can we have just a simple explanation on what this is?
Go ahead. Hold it. Hold the button.
Once the budget is adopted, the next step is to go out to do another resolution for the levy, the taxes, the 135 million. So that's what it is. So that you can send it to the assessor's office, give her that number, and then she will give us the assessed value, and then you will give the homeowners the ability to, what we do, we send it to City Hall, then we will in turn send the school tax out to the homeowners. So that's basically what it's doing.
So this is step one, basically.
Yes. Option, warrant, assess, then school bills are sent out.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. I have a motion for 11.1, settlement and general release agreement between the Mount Vernon City School District and employee number 4048.
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain?
Abstain.
Motion carries. I have a motion for 12.1, approval of a settlement of a claim on behalf of the Mount Vernon City School District against the City of Mount Vernon. Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. I have a motion for 13.1 to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing pending litigation, the financial history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation, and to receive legal advice on a pending matter.
Motion.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Motion carries.
Come back. Say we're gonna come back.
Is your pen? I think I have,
I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. We will be going into executive session. We will not return. So I want to wish you a good night and get home safely. Thank you.